Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Virtual Golf Show. Big thank you to Matthew Faldo there from the Faldo series. A lot of exciting things happening in 2021 there, and talking of exciting things happening, I couldn't be happier to be joined by Harriet Shephard from Women in Golf magazine. Harriet, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well, and I have to say, Harriet, actually, I'm really chuffed about this because we've actually worked together. Essentially, we've kind of worked together all year, haven't we, really? We've never actually spoken until right this very second, have we?
No, just lots of emails and back and forth.
But it's a real pleasure. Thank you for coming on today. Look, we're going to talk Women in Golf magazine because there's a lot of exciting things happening. But it gives a little bit of background about the publication, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, definitely. So Women in Golf is the UK's leading media brand covering women's golf, and it was founded almost 30 years ago in 1991 and was always traditionally a print product that, when it came out every 2 months, had a very loyal subscriber base. And then earlier this year, we decided to go digital only. It always had a website, but it was quite old and it needed updating. So we relaunched the website at the end of the summer, and that's got a whole new members area, which is a replacement for the subscription to the print magazine. And yeah, we've got the ability to do so much more now. We've got a lot more videos, a lot more going on social media. And as you say, it's been a really exciting summer. So there's been lots to write about. And yeah, it's been a great year.
It has been a superb year, isn't it? We're going to cover off sort of professional golf very shortly.
Yeah.
But there's the types of things that you cover in the the digital edition now.
Yeah, all sorts of things, everything from the professional game to the amateur to things at club level, issues affecting just the average woman golfer or girls, our ultimate aim is to grow the women's game and get more women and girls involved in enjoying golf. So we sort of renewed our commitment to helping beginners as well. So we've created a whole new beginners section where we cover the etiquette, the rules, the terminology, just things that when you take up golf are a bit baffling, and nobody, unless you have a friend or somebody to explain them to you, it can be quite daunting. Yes, and I also do a lot of opinion pieces. We have some guest columnists in, so all the usual issues like dress codes, whether it's hoodies, collarless shirts, less glamorous subjects like we need more toilets on golf courses, because a lot of women write to me saying they can't play more than 9 holes, or they have to go play 4 hours with nothing to drink in the summer because they're worried that they'll need the toilet.
Great point, by the way. It is actually a really good point. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that column did quite well, actually, because I don't think many people talk about these things, or perhaps not intentionally, but if men own the golf club, they perhaps don't think about these things, that it's actually women do base their decision on where they join on things like that, like are the toilets on the course, etc.
Absolutely. Well, I actually took a screenshot of your website last night. So I'll just show everybody. This is the homepage. It just looks, it's so clean, it's so easy to follow, and I really like it. I'm not just saying that because you're on the show, but it's not, isn't it? And it's just clean, and I like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really pleased with it. It was a lot of work, and there's still technical glitches from time to time, I'm not going to lie, as there always is, I suppose, when you launch something totally new, but it's really refreshing, and I've tried to keep it very simple, easy to navigate. Instruction is a big thing on there, like that's always comes up top as our most viewed. So we've got lots of short game, long game, course management. It's fabulous, really.
It is. It was quite, obviously it was a since 91 being in print and then moving over to only digital. I imagine obviously COVID probably was a factor in that. But how's it been? What's the response been to the new website since you made that decision?
It's been very positive. I mean, a lot of people in the industry are very pleased. I've had people say they're also doing the same thing, also going digital only, as you say, for various reasons. And also amongst our readers, we had naturally some who were like, no, I like the print, I like getting that. But I think they have realized there are huge benefits to being digital, that we can be so much more quick at reacting. Like, they don't have to wait 2 months to read who won the tournament, because obviously by then it's such old news. They get it instantly. They get instant reactions, like whatever the gossip is, what people are talking about, like straight away we can be on it. And as I said, instruction, they love that. So that lends itself naturally to video, I think, rather than photos and words. So I think they do really appreciate that. We've also been able to do a lot of virtual events, which would have been possible with print, such as we do Q&A with England Golf's head of handicapping before that came out, and that was really useful. And that was sort of a members-only perk as well that they got for their subscription, and that went down really well. And we're going to be doing more of those in the future, doing more live interviews with players, people from the industry, hopefully starting a forum, because a big part of women in golf is the community and the fact that it's all very like-minded female golfers who can all talk and swap ideas. So we have a very active Facebook at the moment, but we want to expand that. And yeah, and as you say, COVID, I think even perhaps our older readers had got used to doing things over Zoom, doing things digitally, so it perhaps wasn't as confusing or as big a change to them as it could have been in a normal year.
Excellent. Well, look, if anybody, actually, funny enough, I've just put up there, if anybody's got a question for Harriet, please do comment. We're actually on the Women in Golf Facebook page right now, aren't we? So if you're watching
exactly,
from there,
yes.
So look, let's look ahead to next year, shall we? I'm hoping, one thing I hope for next year, Harriet, is that we continue this relationship. We're looking at bringing a lot more live golf next year, and I thank you for allowing us to broadcast it to your audience as well. I hope everybody's been enjoying it. But what are your plans for next year with the magazine?
Yeah, we have big plans. Again, probably lots of changes. We're going to go back to doing our reader events, which we had to cancel this year, sadly, for COVID. So we'll have lots of those going on throughout the country and abroad. As I mentioned, we also want to launch a forum so we can get people chatting a bit more. We're going to have more collaborations with people across the industry, and yeah, just keep growing our audience, basically. As I said, we're hoping to reach younger golfers and more beginner golfers, and I suppose naturally taking that step into digital, we have expanded our audience to sort of younger than we were, using Instagram, etc. And also, interestingly, I was talking to Jeremy Tomlinson from England Golf just this morning, and he said the biggest increase this year has been 25 to 40-year-olds, so which is good news, because we're not neglecting our traditional readers, but we're just trying to broaden our appeal, and as everyone is, get more people of different ages playing golf.
Absolutely, and you have to adapt, don't you? You know, that's what life is, and that's progression. Actually, you've led me quite nicely into the next question. We're going to talk about this year in golf and how it's been for women's golf. Do you think it's been a successful year for women's golf?
I do, yes. Obviously, as a whole, golf's been super popular. It's had its hardships, of course, but a lot of people have come back to the game, taken it up. Women's golf in particular, we obviously had the Rose Series, which was massive and came along at exactly the right time when there wasn't much else going on in the sporting world. So lots of people watching that, really interested in that. The Women's Open was also able to go ahead, whereas the men's wasn't. And we had an amazing winner with Sofia Popov. And again, that was a lot of people were watching that, which probably in a normal year maybe wouldn't be tuning into the Women's Open. As like with the people you work with, like Clutch Pro Tour, 2020 Pro Tour, we've got lots more mixed golf. England Golf are also doing their first mixed amateur tournament under 18s next year. But yeah, I say golf was lucky. It was a socially distanced, safe sport. And I think going into next year, we're just concerned that golf clubs and the industry just try and keep these women and try and make themselves as welcoming as possible. And
Well, I can tell you from sort of my year in golf, some of the golfers I've seen, one golfer in particular who stood out for me, Leanne Bramber. I don't know if you know Leanne at all. We covered her quite a bit this year. She is an exceptional talent. In fact, Lily Mae Humphries as well. We covered her. She recently played at the US Women's Open, didn't she? And it's incredible. I can't believe that people wouldn't want to tune in and watch women's golf, because the standard is exceptional. I mean, you know, I wouldn't dare play with any of these ladies, because I would just...
I know, why would you? You'd be...
So look, it's been a good year for women's golf. Rose Series, we mentioned it. In fact, I'm delighted to say after you, Harriet, we've got Emily Slater joining us, who had a successful year on the Rose Series.
Amazing.
Let's tackle getting more women into golf. Why do women not play golf at the minute?
I think in some ways it is still viewed as a sport for men, and that's just about changing the perception, I think. But as Annika Sorensen recently said, I think some golf clubs do need to work on making themselves more welcoming to women. I mean, some are amazing. I've been to so many brilliant golf clubs where there's really thriving female sections, lots of women taking it up, but then some perhaps, as I mentioned before, don't have facilities for women, don't make them feel welcome, do still feel a bit like the women's locker room is sort of tacked on the end and sort of an afterthought. But as you say, this year's changed totally. We've just seen it with all the golf clubs who are hosting female events, putting on more initiatives. I think the fact that dress code is changing will help as well. We've seen more of the players wearing more sporty clothes this year, and that's also down to the brands like Adidas and Puma producing more sort of modern, stylish clothes. Because, I mean, let's be honest, young women are not going to want to do it if they're wearing clothes that they feel embarrassed about or they don't feel like they look nice in. So I think there are various factors. I think the time is an issue, that can take so long. But then again, this year people do have more free time, so that's been better.
Golf has had a real opportunity this year, hasn't it? And I actually think it's taken it to an extent, be one of the few sports that was actually able to come back quickly, wasn't it? I know when we did 2020 Pro Tour at Cleckheaton, I think it was the first event back, and what an event that was, by the way. We had Amy Bolden playing in that, we had Carly Booth playing in it, and it was just fantastic to see. And it was a good opportunity for golf to make the headlines. And like you say, I actually think golf is cool now. You know, it seems weird saying that. I probably shouldn't say the word cool at my age, but you know, I do think golf is cool. You know, like you say, the brands are bringing out, you know, nice clothes that actually, before golf clothes, you could only wear golf clothes at the golf club, couldn't you? But now, golf you can wear out and about. Where do you stand, Harriet, on the hoodie debate? Are you for it? Or are you against it? Or are you not really bothered?
No, I'm for it. I'm all for the hoodies. I think, as I say, golf has this image of being sort of a bit stuffy and a bit stuck up, and you can't go around telling people they can't wear a jacket just because he's got a hood on. And again, some people have this idea that hoodies are scruffy, but they're not. As we know, there's so many sports where you can wear a smart hoodie and still look smart and presentable. And yeah, I think it's just essential. Obviously the traditions of golf are brilliant and they're part of the charm, but they do need to adapt and they do need to move with the times. Otherwise, yeah, young women will choose to take up something else where they can look good and where it's easier. But as you say, it is looking more cool, and these players like Amy Bolden and all the rest, you know, are absolutely helping that, because they look so good and they're so talented, and so many of them have won this year from the UK, like Mel Reid, Georgia Hall, Amy. So hopefully going forward, we'll see so many more.
I actually think it's been one of the strongest years for women's golf we've seen for a long time, if not ever. I was lucky enough to interview Dame Laura Davies at Sunning earlier in the year as well. What a pleasure that was. And the mix is there. You know, it is on the up. We've seen Sky Sports recently live streaming the Ladies European Tour as well, and for free as well, so people can go and watch it. You don't need the Sky Sports subscription. And I think people are getting it now. They're understanding and they're seeing it, and rightly so. Like I said before, the players I've been around, like Leanne Bramwell, I keep mentioning her name, but I kept saying it. I kept embarrassing her every time I'd see her as well. I put a lot of pressure on her. But she's going to be a superstar. It's just unbelievable how good these players are. Yeah. And we're just chatting to Matthew Faldo before. Of course, the Faldo series has a ladies category, well, two age categories for the ladies as well. And going on to see them, you know, Caitlin Papp, for example, played in Faldo series, and it was US Open, US Women's Open Low Amateur the other week. It's growing, it's going the right way, and it's actually, for us, it's quite nice to be a part of, to be honest, because to showcase the ability of what's going on. Look, with regards to the magazine, the digital magazine anyway, people want to find out more, we've got the handles running across the bottom. Let's talk the membership. What does that involve? If somebody wants to become a member on the website, what do they do?
Yes, so as you mentioned, it's running on the bottom. Just visit our website, go to our members area, and then you can sign up. So we've brought in a paywall. So after 3 articles, you will get an annoying message popping up saying you need to sign in. And so once you're a member, you get unlimited content. You also get extra competitions, extra discounts. These discounts are for our own events. So if you want to come to a Women in Golf event next year, you'll get £20 off, and your membership is £20. So you may as well buy the membership is our advice. And you get extra instruction videos, virtual events, as I mentioned, access to a forum. So it's basically bringing what we had in the print but online, but then offering a bit extra and more options to interact with different people.
Go on, sorry. Yes, sorry.
Sorry, I was just saying, just going back to your point before, I think it is all about just encouraging people to watch women's golf more. And now there is the opportunity, like thanks to the work you're doing, and as you say, Sky Sports streaming it for free. I think it's once people start watching it, they realize that, how amazingly good they are. I mean, the players have always said this: if you put the product in front of them, they'll realize that, they're just as good as the men, or perhaps in a way they're more relatable than the men because they hit it more similar distances to the way we do, but they're just incredibly skilled and incredibly accurate at doing it.
They are, and I can vouch for that, having been seeing it firsthand. How I was going to say, I see on the Women in Golf Facebook page quite a lot. When we're not in lockdown and things like that, you have the best job in the world, by the way, don't you? You get to go play all these courses, you get to go all over the place. Where's your favourite course that you've played?
Probably going to Glen Eagles in Scotland was just amazing and very difficult for me, but it was brilliant. Just the most stunning scenery, amazing 3 courses. Just a surreal place.
Yeah, do you know, I've never been. If anybody from Glen Eagles is watching, to go up next year. Do you mind if I ask, Harriet, what's your handicap?
Well, I don't actually have a handicap. I'm as you've seen, a roaming golfer who has not been playing for too long. So.
Okay, fantastic. But you've actually been in the golf industry for quite a while, haven't you?
I have. Yes, I used to work for National Club Golfer, who were on yesterday, but that was a few years ago. And then I went to work in the Middle East and did Time Out magazine. So I still wrote about golf because obviously they have tournaments over there, but I also wrote about all range of different things. And then came back into golf and found this amazing job with Women in Golf. And
what a great job you're doing, by the way. Thanks so much, Harriet.
Thank you.
Please do go check out the website as well. It is running across the bottom, www.womeningolf.com. Follow them on Twitter as well, @_and women_and_golf. It's really difficult to say, isn't it? And it's running across the bottom, just like for yourself. Do go check it out. Harriet, plans for Christmas? So you just, I assume you're just at home. There's not really a lot we can do.
A very quiet one this year, unfortunately, but...
Fantastic. Right, that's Harriet Shephard from Women in Golf magazine. Do go check it out. Like I say, the website's running across the bottom. We're sticking with the Women in Golf theme, actually, because after this next break, I'm delighted to say we've got Emily Slater joining us. She's had a successful year on the Rose Series. We're going to find out all about that, and I'm going to surprise her. She doesn't know it yet, but we did some filming with her at Sonning while she was playing. She hasn't seen it. We're going to play it out live for her and get her reaction. Harriet, have a lovely Christmas. Have a wonderful New Year, won't you? Thank you so much for your time today. I can't wait to carry on working with you next year as well. And it's nice to finally actually talk for the first time ever.
Perfect. Thank you so much for having me. It was lovely to meet you too.